Hey everybody, it's Will, your favorite rural campaign and elections expert. Let's talk about the economy. It's no secret that the economy is the top issue for voters in this upcoming election. According to the Pew Research Center, 81% of voters say the economy is the most important issue to them going into the upcoming general election. That's compared to 65% who say healthcare is the most important issue to them, 61% who say immigration is the most important issue, and 51% that say women's reproductive rights are at the top of the issues list for them going into the next election. President Biden and Vice President Harris have an excellent record when it comes to the economy. However, there's much more that Vice President Harris wants to do if she's elected president. I'm going to be doing a series of videos over the next few days that speak specifically to these policy initiatives and why they would be much better for the American and world economies than the policies being put forth by Donald Trump. Well, what policies there are. One of Vice President Harris's first acts as vice president was to cast the tie-breaking vote for the Inflation Reduction Act. If you remember, just 7 months into the Biden-Harris administration, the failed policies of the Trump administration during COVID had led to an 8.3% inflation rate in our country. And while that inflation rate was much better than other countries around the world, it still had a very negative impact on the purchasing power of consumers here in our country. Basic necessities like gasoline, groceries, and diapers were hard for people to buy, and the cost was continuing to climb. Inflation today sits at just 2.5% as a result of the passage of the Inflation Reduction Act. And it's important to remember that not a single Republican politician voted for the act, which has had such positive effects on the American economy. As a reminder, under the Biden-Harris administration, the American economy has grown at an incredible clip of 2.7% each year. The stock market continues to climb to all-time highs, while Trump's social media stock continues to drop to all-time lows. And last week, the Federal Reserve dropped interest rates by 50 basis points. This did two things. It showed that we had averted a recession because of the policies of the Biden-Harris administration, and it lowered interest rates, which will lead to more home purchasing in the United States. So over the next 4 days, I'm going to be doing this series of videos about Harris's policy implementations regarding the economy. On day one, I'm going to be talking about Harris's tax cuts for over 100 million middle-class individuals in this country. That'll include a conversation about earned income tax credits. That same day, our second policy issue will be about small business tax breaks and Harris's goal to see 25 million new business applications during her first term and what policies she'll implement to get to that goal. Day two, we're going to do a video about affordable housing and how Harris wants to build 3 million more rental homes and pass a tax break for first-time home buyers. That same day, day two, we'll also do a video on how she hopes to end price gouging across the United States, especially as it relates to groceries and home items. Day three, we're going to discuss how Harris plans to reduce healthcare costs by reining in premium costs and by extending the caps on costs in healthcare. That same day, we'll talk about how Harris wants to expand innovation and infrastructure in the United States. This, of course, has been one of the most successful attributes of the Biden administration. And finally, on the last day, we're going to be talking about the landmark pro-union legislation that Harris has planned, as well as talking about her plans and policy to reduce the cost of adult and child care expenses for most Americans. So I hope you give me a follow and stick with me over the next few days as we walk through these important policy initiatives that Harris intends to implement during her first term. One thing you're surely going to understand at the end of the series is that Harris is the only candidate with serious policy initiatives to help Americans with cost and to improve the economy going forward. I look forward to sharing these important issues with you over the next few days, and as always, guys, have a great day.